Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeb Myers. I have the honor to serve the Cristo Rey community as president. We're really excited to share our community with you, and we have a number of wonderful people that will be with us to present. Most importantly, we have four students who will be sharing their experiences. We have Nareli Barron, Eric Burgess, Emily Mejia, and Kristen Pacheco, as well as Steve Crandall, our Vice President of Advancement, Kasaya Koval, our Director of the Corporate Workstudy Program, and myself. So thank you all for joining us. Super excited to have you here. And just want to share that our story really begins, and if Ms. Cass, you can move there, thank you. Our story really begins in the 20th century when there's a great book out there called The Color of Law. And it talks about how our cities we redlined our cities in the 20th century and how effective the public policy was at segregating our cities and concentrating our wealth and concentrating our poor. And some of that, I'm sorry, maybe not the word poor, our poverty in our cities. And we can still see some of those effects today. Our high school graduation rate here in the Minnesota, Minneapolis, St. Paul region, we rank last out of 50 states in Minnesota. Minnesota ranks last out of 50 states in high school graduation rate for Latina students. And we rank 48th out of 50 states for Black students graduation rate from high school. And you can see some of those effects. These are images or maps that the McKnight Foundation puts a lot of energy and time into. And we can see those effects today. Our school is in the Phillips neighborhood of Minneapolis, and that is where just a little bit to the left of where the cursor is on your screen. It's the lightest shade of that neighborhood. This map, the darker the shade of the neighborhood, the higher the percent of adults working. The next slide shows, and today, the darker the shade, the higher the percent of people living in poverty. And if you're looking at where the Phillips neighborhood is, the upper left neighborhood that's dark is the neighborhood of North Minneapolis, and the upper right neighborhood that is dark is the University of Minnesota. It makes sense that students in the Minneapolis and University of Minnesota may be living at not as high of range of finances because they are going to school. But you can see that that there is little poverty in the southwest neighborhoods of Minneapolis and in the Highland area of St. Paul. If you go to the next slide, please, Ms. Cass. But unfortunately, we can also see that the three areas that are darkest in Minneapolis, St. Paul, in terms of, or darkest shade in neighborhoods, are also the highest percent of people of color living in those neighborhoods. And so we can see this effects of redlining here in the Twin Cities. And just for the record, in St. Paul, the neighborhoods that are highlighted are the Rondo neighborhood and northern neighborhoods of St. Paul. So we see those effects of redlining today. Our school is really set up. We are designed to bring those people together, and in a Catholic Jesuit college and career preparatory school, so that we can unlock our students' potential. And in that way, we serve our students of all cultures, all faiths, so that they may transform our communities. And we always say at the end of all of our assemblies that we are guided by faith, we're prepared for life, and serving others. We really look to serve students of all faiths, all backgrounds, but really students whose families need access to education. And we have three major components that we do that with. One is our college prep education in the Jesuit tradition. Our 4-year work experience, where our students are working alongside business professionals each week as they learn the relevance of their education, as well as explore what they might do in their future careers. And then the other unique aspect about our school is our college and career counseling services that we provide. We work with our students all the way through college, and then we don't just hand a diploma to them at graduation and then say, good luck. We actually work with them and their families all the way through college through our alumni advising. Next slide, Ms. Cass. Cristo Rey Jesuit High School is part of a growing network of Cristo Rey schools. We have 37 schools throughout the U.S. and we continue to add schools. Next year, we will open a school in the Durham, Raleigh area of North Carolina. And the following year, we will open a school in Miami. And there are feasibility studies going on right now in Orlando, Seattle, and all over and a few other places throughout the country. Collectively, all of our students are Catholic, but serve students of all faiths. They are all college prep, and they all have the corporate work study program. Collectively, we serve 13,000 students, 98% who identify as students of color. We have 20,000 graduates collectively, and our students in 2019-2020, pre-pandemic, worked at over 3,500 corporate partners where they collectively earned $80 million towards the cost of their education. And we are all committed to social equity. Our school invests in people, organizations, and communities of color to address the systemic injustices and systemic barriers that our students and their families face. Our corporate work study program builds a pipeline of talent for diverse 21st century employees and leaders. And as I've already shared, we are serving students of all faiths. We want our Catholic students to become better Catholics, our evangelical students to become deeper in their evangelical faith, and our Muslim students to become deeper in their Islamic faith. Locally, here at Cristo Rey, we serve 500 students, 75% of which live in Minneapolis and St. Paul. Almost 90% of our students qualify for the federal free reduced lunch program, and our average family earns $46,000 earns $46,000 annually. Our students, and just to give perspective on that, the University of Minnesota just released that all families earning less than $50,000 a year would have a full scholarship to the University of Minnesota. And so many or most of our students qualify for that designation at the University of Minnesota. How do we support our students? We have a rigorous standards-based curriculum, small class sizes. Our teachers are outstanding. You'll hear about our students and teachers' relationships in the student panel. We also have a longer school day and a longer school year to help support our students to their success. We offer faith formation and spiritual growth. Again, it's deepening their relationship with God. It's not dictating the path. And then we offer a robust program of extracurricular sports, activities, and opportunities for our students to get involved. And then we also support our students through the summer, working to help with internships, go to college camps, and then even support them here on our campus. We're fortunate that our 763 graduates, we are proving our success. 100% of our students for 11 years now. This last week, we had all 112 seniors receive all of their acceptances to college. And so for 11 years now, we've had 100% college acceptance. Over our historical time, we've had 99% graduation rate from our school. The last 7 years have been 100%. And not only are 90% of our students the first in their family to go to college, more than half of our seniors are also the first in their family to graduate from high school. So we are supporting our students and families to develop their skills and put them in position to utilize the talents that they already come with to be successful in life. And just to give perspective, we also are 3 times more, our graduates are 3 times more likely to complete a bachelor's degree by age 24 than similar demographics. And here are some of the schools that our students are either pursuing a degree at or have earned a degree at. And please know the list is much longer. This is just a few of those schools. I'm now going to turn it over to Keziah Coble, our Director of Corporate Work Study, who's going to explain our innovative corporate work study program.
Thanks, Deb. Hi, everybody. I'm Keziah. I'm the Director of the Corporate Work Study Program, and I have the privilege to talk with you and share with you about our tremendous corporate work study students and their experience within the program. So all of our students at Cristo Rey participate in the corporate work study program in addition to the high rigor college prep program that we offer academically. So if you look over on the chart on the right-hand side, you see students' faces. Each student works 1 day a week at a corporate work study program job. So our Monday students are typically our juniors, our Tuesday students are seniors, our freshmen work on Wednesday, and our sophomores work on Thursday. We'll share with you about what students do when they go to work here shortly, and our students will take that opportunity. For you, as you're sitting there thinking, what are students doing and how does this work? Our school works like an independent placement agency, an employment agency. So the team of us here within the corporate work study program, we work to place students at their corporate work study program job and also support you and the student as they work together, as you work together with students to learn and develop professional development skills that students will use to enhance their career readiness once they graduate from Cristo Rey. So you as the company contract with CWSP, you receive a reliable, diverse talent to build your talent pipeline. And our students have the opportunity to develop their professional 4-year resume within the context of their 4 years at Cristo Rey. So our team at in the corporate work study program, we work really hard to make sure that you are matched with a student who can align with the skills and the tasks that you need them to perform at their job. They work with you August all the way through June, 1 day a week, and our student work teams are built up of a team of 4. So if you think of a 1.0 FTE, a student makes up a quarter of that FTE. So each week you have a 1.0 FTE report to you at work and do entry-level business tasks, whether it's technology or utilizing their soft skills in an administrative role. You get that talent 1 day a week from a Cristo Rey student. So the goal of this program, our purpose, is to help you fill your diverse talent pipeline and help our students have the opportunity to have access to you as a company. So as they graduate from Cristo Rey, go into college, you have access to them and they have access to you. So we are very much looking forward to our student panel. They will share with you about their experience and what they do on the job. I'm going to kick it back over to Jeb to share a little bit more about our impact.
Thank you, Keziah. And you can see some of our 83 current partners. Pre-pandemic, we were up around 125 corporate partners. And we're really grateful to all our corporate partners that work with us to, again, bring our students and the corporate world together so that they can see the family sustaining careers ahead of them. So we're gonna have the first part is to talk about our impact. So just to recap, we have had 10 graduating classes. We are excited that on June 12th, we will celebrate our 11th graduating class. We currently have 763 graduates, 100% who've been accepted to college, 90% who are the first in their family to graduate from, to go to college, and more than half of our graduates were the first in their family to graduate from high school. And then 8%, just under 10% of our corporate partners employ at least one graduate currently in a career. Before the pandemic, when we had 125 companies, we were around 13%, but with our current partners that are partnering with us, that's different. Our school was impacted by COVID-19 and then the George Floyd unrest. It really, as I shared, it really impacted our corporate partners. Many of our corporate partners have been able to flex and stay with us, and our students are working remotely. Some of our corporate partners have been unable to do that due to their business, but they still remain close partners with us. Many of our families have faced illness, death. Many of them have faced unemployment, food insecurity, or difficult living situations, and a lack of technology for education. And some of the things that we have done through our emergency fund and even reworking or responding to our students' needs, we have been able to provide a laptop for every student. We have provided almost a quarter of our students with hotspots where they have access to internet at home. We have served 147 family meals throughout since last September. And prior to that, we were serving about 260 family meals throughout last summer. And then we've also offered, and you can never do this enough, but we've offered social and emotional support, whether it's through our three social workers, our counselors on campus, or through many faculty staff. And the killing of George Floyd has only re-emphasized more the importance of our mission, how we can provide upward mobility for our families who face predictable racial and economic barriers here in the Twin Cities. And if you saw recently in the New York Times, Minnesota was spotlighted for one of the best places to live throughout the country. But unfortunately, that is only for people who are white. Whereas the indicators also show for our people of color that Minnesota is lagging behind most of the country in providing a well livable society and place for them to live. So we are of the best for people who are white, and we are of the worst places to live for people who come from diverse cultural backgrounds. The corporate work study program that Keziah explained really provides a lot of our financial funding, and we are currently raising through our resilience fund opportunities for people to help support our mission and offset the cost of the corporate work study revenue loss. In a non-pandemic time, almost half of our revenue comes from our corporate work study program this year, and we're anticipating for next year that we will be closer to 20-30% of our revenue coming from the corporate work study program. But I also want to highlight the jobs. While they are a revenue source, they are even more important for our secret sauce as we are developing our students and they are working alongside those business professionals. It's really a key component of our program, but that is some of the challenges that we have faced under COVID. We're now gonna move to the most exciting part of our program. We're gonna have our students share their experiences. If you have questions, please use the chat feature to write the question in the chat, and or raise your hand using the symbols on the bottom of your screen. I've prepared a number of questions, but please know that the only instruction we've given the students is to just please tell the truth. We want them to share the truth. So we will, I will lead off with one question, and then we will open it up to other questions that people might have. So first, I'm going to ask each student to introduce themselves and what grade they are in and the company that they are working at. And why don't we start with Kristen, as she's a junior, and then we'll move to Narelli, then Eric, and then Emily.
Good afternoon. I'm Kristen Pacheco, a junior at Cristo Rey, and I'm currently working at 3M. I started in January during the second semester, and previously I worked at Cross Anderson's Constructions Company for about a year and a half.
Hello, my name is Norelli. I am a senior at Cristo Rey, and I currently work with Donaldson.
Hello, my name is Eric Burgess. I'm a senior at Cristo Rey. I work at Faegre, Drinker, Biddle, and Reith, formerly known as Faegre, Baker, Daniels before they merged. So yeah, that's where I work.
Hello, my name is Emily Mejia. I work with 3M. Before that, I worked at United Health Group for 3 years.
Thank you. Why don't I'm going to have two students answer this question. If Kristen and Norelli could answer this question, why did you come to Cristo Rey? And then why did you stay?
Well, I came to Cristo Rey as a suggestion from my parents who have heard really good reviews from close relatives and friends. So I wasn't necessarily the most interested because I didn't know a lot about it. I wasn't really told about it. So as I was finishing off my 8th grade year, I did the process for Cristo Rey, and I got accepted clearly. And so I was kind of testing the waters my freshman year to see how it was, and I was really able to develop myself, and socially I was able to develop myself a lot and get attached to the school, the community, and friends that I made. And the opportunities that I have here really emphasized my reason in staying.
So similar to Kristen, I was also suggested here by my parents. I got a couple mentors who also recommended Cristo Rey. I ended up staying because of the community, the teachers. They offer a lot of support as well as the staff. And there's just it's different. Like you get to do corporate work study, which I know a lot of public schools don't have. And I think that's a great opportunity to have at high school.
Excellent. Thank you both. Emily and Eric, if you could both you've already shared where you work, but if you could talk about some of the tasks you've learned and some of the relationships you've built at work in your time at Cristo Rey.
Yeah. So I work at 3M, like I said, and I work as a quality technician in the commercial division solutions. I do my task or I have a lot of different tasks that I do, but one of the most important one that I think is I ensure the products are quality and that they meet the required safety standards for what my company sells.
So I've worked at the Faegre law firm for all 4 years. For my first 2 years, my freshman and sophomore year, I was in talent services. So my day-to-day task would be filing the parking benefits. I transferred the physical copies to digital, so I used a lot of Excel spreadsheets. I made the new hire binders, the new hire orientation binders at work. And I just did a lot of side projects for other coworkers that didn't really have the time to do them. So I feel like I utilized a lot of the small things to make a bigger impact. After my sophomore year, I moved to the client development and marketing department. So for my junior year, while I was actually at work, I basically found the contact information, whether it be email or LinkedIn profile of previous employees, and I put that in an Excel spreadsheet, and I gave that information to my team, my supervisor and her team, and they use that information to contact them and give them updates about the firm and all these other different things about it. And yeah, I also did a lot of extra side projects. And yeah, I've continued to do that my senior year, so I'm doing a lot of the same things now.
Thank you both. Norelli, and I'm gonna have you answer this question first, and then Kristen can follow up. Can you talk a little bit about how COVID has affected you or challenged you during this school year, and how do you make sure you are successful at school and work during this pandemic and working remotely?
So COVID impacted my education very hard because I completely lost motivation. I was staying in my house and just getting a lot boring. The classes all seemed the same. There's nothing to get me through the day. But what I kept thinking to myself and telling myself was I had to push forward because I'm doing this for my future, for a better future. I'm so close to the end, I want to make sure I do things right.
For me, I would say that really it was the hard part. One of the hard parts was adapting into online learning, especially during my sophomore year when it had just started and we had to immediately start online. It was a really hard transition, and I guess also my focus was really impacted because being at home, you have distractions, families, and everything. You get distracted, and I guess that was a big part of kind of how it was pretty hard and like for me to start to begin with. And however, what's really been helpful is my planner. I don't know if you guys can see it. My planner. I barely used it at all my prior years, and then now it helps me keep track of what I have to get done, and it's just been really helpful while being at home.
Excellent. Just want to remind people, if you have a question, if one of the students sparks something, please make sure to throw it in the chat, or you can raise your hand in the reactions, and we'll call on you. But just want to make sure that that you're aware that that's possible. If we could have all students, so I'm going to start with Eric and Emily, and then we'll have Narelli and Kristen share. Talk about your path to your dreams, and then how Cristo Rey is helping you along that path to achieve your dreams.
Okay, so first of all, I would say my first goal, which is very, very close and is in close reach, is graduating high school. I have a couple weeks left, take a couple AP exams, and then I'm done. After that, I plan on working a lot this summer, doing a lot of internships at law firms and other government offices and things of that nature. In the fall, I'll be going to the University of Minnesota. I've declared a major of political science and a minor in economics. So I'll be using that to hopefully get me into law school after my 4 years. As of right now, I'm convinced that I want to go to law school, but who knows? Like, nobody knows if they're going to stick with the major all 4 years. My backup plan is to have a dual major in economics and business. I do want to get into the financial aspect of the world. I'm really interested in that. Yeah, so as far as like the connections part and influencing my plans, there's a lot of teachers at Cristo Rey, and I have a lot of mentors outside of school that give me a lot of useful advice and keep me level-headed, and they just tell me not to be so stressed. So I mean, I'm using a lot of the advice, and yeah, just trying new things while I'm young, and yeah, just trying to widen the amount of people that I know, expand on my connections, and just grow as a young adult.
Thank you, Eric. Congratulations. For me, I would say my plans for my future are, I'm still deciding what college. I haven't committed to any yet. It's between two, but soon I will choose. I do plan on pursuing a nursing career, hopefully, and being part of the Army. So hopefully by 2025, I'll be a Army cadet. Another thing is I want to go back another 4 years after I hopefully become an Army nurse and pursue an engineering degree and maybe go back to 3M and retire there. I say also Cristo Rey has taken a big point in what I want to do because I feel like I've gotten so much support and just mentors and everyone that has been supporting me that has really given me the push and the motivation to finish off this year strong and to really go after what I want and chase after it and know that it's out there and that I can do it.
So for me, I will be attending the University of Minnesota for the incoming school year. I have declared my major as a civil engineering or engineer. And the way Cristo Rey has prepared me was basically by preparing me for college. Like I feel like every high school intends to do that, but I think Cristo Rey really gets into it. And it's from like going from like giving you opportunities to get AP credits. So you had to like through the school year for college to like knowing how to write a proper paragraph.
For me as a junior, I'm sorry, I blanked out. My dreams are still kind of wary or blurry as of right now. However, I do have interests that I have career-wise, and I'm very interested in accounting and finance, as well as nursing. So I'm between two things, and after high school, my plan is obviously college, and Cristo Rey, since starting freshman year, has really been helpful in including counseling sessions, college counseling sessions, and they increase as your years in high school are more. So as a junior, I'm starting to have more college counseling sessions, and it basically just helps me put more motivation and a lot of dedication into looking into what I want to do, and especially seeking places that would fit me. So the path to where I want is, yeah, it's college, and Cristo Rey has been helping a lot, especially with the college counseling.
Awesome. I love how you framed that, Kristen, with your dreams are still forming, and you talked about your interests. That's awesome. Ms. Bridget Johnson put in the chat, if you could each talk about your siblings and then how has your experience affected your family's involvement and then the support that you've received in the wraparound services. So Eric, I'm going to start with you because I know you've had a sister attend Cristo Rey and you've had a brother attend Cristo Rey alongside you.
Yeah, so as Jed mentioned, my sister graduated in 2018. As of right now, I have no idea what she's studying, but I know she's in college in Texas right now and she's really enjoying it. She's finishing up her junior year. And so, yeah, she has one more year until she's fully off and doing whatever she does with her life. So, I mean, that's just good. And to see how Cristo Rey like changed her personality and her mindset and her goals and how she plans things, just everything, her preparation, everything just changed after she went to Cristo Rey. So yeah, there's that. Also, I have a twin brother. His name is Derek. Yeah. So yeah, we're really close. As of right now, I don't know what college he's going to. I think he's either going to St. John's University or the University of Minnesota. His major is computer science, and yeah, he's also a top scholar. He participates in a lot of activities. He played basketball with me. Yeah, we're really close. And yeah, how is my family supported? Uh, my mom is really like invested in the Cristo Rey community. She's at every basketball game possible. She's talked to most teachers through email or in person. And so yeah, my mother does a lot with the community. She's really invested in my education because I mean, I think a lot of parents are. So yeah, she's the one that motivates me. And, you know, when I'm tired after a game, she's the one that tells me, Eric, go get this 4.0 on this assignment and then go to sleep. Like, I'll make your food, I'll wash your clothes. She's that type of mother. So, I mean, I couldn't really ask for much more than that. I appreciate her more than anything in this world. She's made my life easier as a high school student. And yeah, I know even in college, if I want a meal or if I just want to come home for a weekend, I can. And so it's just, there's a lot of support there. And yeah, that's really my support system at home.
Thank you.
For me, I have an older brother as well, and he graduated from Cristo Rey, the class of 2016. He is graduating this year from the University of Minnesota Duluth with an entrepreneurship degree. And then I have two younger sisters that are in elementary. And I would say my family is involved in the community. We live in the outside of Minneapolis, Bloomington, but we still, they still support me with sports and whatever it is that I'm involved with in Cristo Rey. And I feel like the kind of support that I appreciate most is my parents. And not only that, but I feel it's most the mentors that I've had from Cristo Rey. I've had some pretty good connections, and I know for a fact I can continue to have that support even when I leave Cristo Rey.
So for me, I am the oldest sister, and I have a younger brother who's a sophomore at Cristo Rey. And for me, I've gotten a lot of support from my family along with Eric. My mom is very like, I'll wash your clothes, I'll do the dishes, I'll do whatever you need. You focus on your education, and she'll worry about the rest. And I think as an older sister, I have to take that extra responsibility to set the right path and the right example for the younger ones. So I think I've done a good job on doing that, but I also get a lot of support from my family. So.
Well, for me, I have an older sister who did not graduate from Cristo Rey. She went to another high school and she graduated 2019. She's right now she's on her road, like pretty confused of what she's doing and everything. So she's figuring herself out. And I do have two younger siblings, one that's in pre-K and the other one in elementary. And well, when we first started, it was kind of like hectic in the house because we were four students at home and the internet connections lagged a lot, but then that got fixed soon enough. However, my parents, they involve themselves in matters of me with school, like going to conferences and everything. However, the thing that I most appreciate about them is their emotional and mental support that they give me, especially from home. So it's something that I really appreciate from them.
Beautiful. I'm gonna ask Emily and Norelli to answer this question. Ms. Katie Knutson asks, could you provide any tips on how a supervisor can support the student intern in a virtual setting? Any tips that you have for them?
So for me, I would say I actually work on site at 3M, but knowing from my peers that I work with, I feel like maybe just checking up emails and making sure they're doing good, and most of everything, having them, I guess, keep track of tasks they're doing and all of this. So to keep you guys, I guess, updated and what they're being involved in.
Yeah, I will have to agree with Emily on this one. To like, I work at home, so I get to like experience this, and I would agree with her that a lot of like my supervisor, whenever he checks on me, always making sure that I understand my assignments, since I know that it can be difficult to understand in a project when it's online. But he always makes sure that I understand, and he's making time for me, and that's like really helpful.
Excellent. Eric or Kristen, do you want to offer anything? Go ahead, Eric.
So yeah, I'd like to say my supervisor and I are like really, really, really tight. Like we're super close. And what I can say that she does a lot is she offers moral and mental support. So I can basically like go through our conversations and she'll periodically ask me like, "Oh, Eric, how are you doing today? Did you get enough sleep last night? Do you have a big test coming up? Do you need a 15-minute break? Do you need to just cool down?" Like she just makes sure that I am calm and in the right headspace to perform well every day that I'm at work. I mean, I am working remote, so I would just say providing that mental support probably helps me a lot because she understands, and she also has a senior son that is a senior, so she understands like the stress and all the things that come into it. And so yeah, she's just aware of it, and she makes sure that I am doing well. So I'd say that is the best type of support.
Kristen, I don't know if you have anything to offer, but any tips for working remotely?
I don't work remotely and I haven't
Okay.
really had to deal with like virtual, so I wouldn't really be any help.
Perfect. Appreciate the honesty. I missed a question from Ms. Michelle Paulo. What kinds of support would you most appreciate? What kind of support, when you're looking ahead into the future, what things do you think you would most appreciate about the support you received at Cristo Rey, or from your supervisors at work, or from your families?
I can start. So I feel like the most important thing for me would be having the connections that I've made throughout the 4 years at Cristo Rey, keeping those connections, staying in touch, keeping them updated in how I do in life. I feel like it's just a little push and the little things that give you, I guess, a better idea of a future. Not only that, but continuous support.
For me, I think any type of support is support. You know, you don't really know what you'll need until like you get different type of support, whether that's financially, mentally, physically, you know. So any support would be helpful.
I completely agree. I think I'd appreciate the motivation and the mental support over the next few years. College isn't easy. It drains a lot of kids. There's a reason why a lot of people drop out. So just receiving a lot of advice and motivation over the next few years would probably help me the most. Also, the financial aspect from my parents, I think that would help me a lot during college. So yeah.
I totally agree. Motivational support and mental support for me, I feel like would be the most appreciated ones on my side, just because of the like my type, like the way that I process myself. I feel like those two would be the most meaningful ones that I would really appreciate, like from my heart.
Excellent. Well, if everybody could kind of, throw up a little cheer or clap or whatever, but thank you, Emily, Kristen, Norelli, and Eric for sharing your story and being part of this panel. So I'm now going to turn it over to Steve Crandall, who is our Vice President for Advancement.
Hi, everyone, and another round for our students. It's always inspiring to hear from them, as always. They inspire us to do our work every day. So congratulations to those that are graduating and those that aren't. We look forward to seeing you again next academic year. Today, we are inviting you to please match our students' energy and commitment and determination by investing in our school. Your investments support our students in achieving their dreams, which are ever so important. Work hard and you can achieve your dreams, and we need your help to do that. We have several ways to get involved with the Cristo Rey community. As mentioned several times throughout this presentation, you can offer your support through making a gift to our Resilience Fund. As Jeb articulated, we have a critical need to help offset the revenue loss due to the pandemic. So if making a gift, please check to see if your employer has a matching gift program and double the impact that you will make on our students. And then through the pandemic, many of us have turned to online shopping and do a lot of shopping through Amazon. They have a program called Amazon Smile. So look into it and designate Cristo Rey Jesuit High School as your charity of choice, and you can help with every purchase that you make. Another big impact you can make, if you're in a position to do so, hire our students and become a member of our corporate work study program and impact that way. If you're not in a position to hire, look into your networks and your families and friends if they're in positions and you think that our students would be a good match in the businesses that they work, please get them connected and get us to hire a team of students. We'd love that. And of course, volunteering. Obviously, due to the pandemic, we've had a unique opportunity to shift to access virtual mentorship program. As you've heard today, and asking in ways you can help. These students really open up to those that want to step up and help in many different ways and become a mentor to them. And obviously become an advocate. You've heard a little bit more about our mission today. If it's inspired you, anytime you have and ability to go out into the communities and places of business or wherever it may be, share and talk and just become an advocate. And then last but not least, follow us on social media. Like us and share us. That too helps spread the word about Cristo Rey. So if you have any questions, you can contact myself or Jeb. And if you have any questions right now, Jeb and I are willing to stay on and answer those. And if you'd like to talk to us individually, our contact information is on our website. And I'd just like to end by saying thank you so much, not only to the students that came, but to all our guests that took an hour out of their day to hear about the wonderful and inspiring mission of the students here at Cristo Rey. So with that, I will say thank you and answer any questions if anybody has any. Well, with that, we will say thank you again for coming and have a wonderful day and enjoy the wonderful weather this weekend.